Hello, viewers. Good afternoon, and in fact, welcome back to Career Pathshala. We have thought of having the last seven sessions as very important sessions with some good master classes, and in between, we were fortunate to have few very good insight about career offering for graduates. ऐसा सोचा जाता है कि प्लेसमेंट्स और कैरियर इज मोस्टली विद professional colleges, engineering colleges, and all. But a lot of colleges beyond engineering go with very good campus opportunities, and the opportunities are always there for the deserving graduates. And there are a lot of new venues where people can through campus hiring get into premium companies and make their career. एक मिथ होता है कि हमें बी कॉम करके एमबीए करना है या बीसीए करके कुछ हमको आगे पोस्ट ग्रेजुएशन करना है. So just to break that myth and the from normal to something which is very different, we thought of taking this session with support of Career College, one of the most leading college of Bhopal, one of the most prominent and established college in Bhopal. So this show is all about graduates and opportunities and their placements and the hiring patterns, how they would be. So today I am happy to have with me Ankita. I think yes, Ankita is here. So welcome
Hello.
Ankita to Career Pathshala.
Thank you, Anujji. Thank you for inviting me and thank you for everything you are doing for the youth of India. Thank you.
So just to introduce, Ankita is our Young Indians honorary member. We have two categories of membership. One is paid membership where we do a screening and make them, and some which we feel that they have done sufficient for the society for the in a particular field. So we give them as an honorary member. So I think Ankita is one of the youngest honorary member in the country for Young Indians, and she has been a very good example and role model of gift and organ, where she has not only with his personality and charm she keeps influencing people around her, but she has also been an organ donor, a living organ donor, where she donated a part of her liver for the support of for her own mother. And that and beyond that, she also from that she came up and developed her own sportsman spirit, went to the Olympics of world donor or Olympic, what's called about, Ankita, if I'm
World Transplant Games. It's called World Transplant.
World transplant, yes, and representing India and bringing medals of gold and silver. So she's not only of a great personality and a very uh, known entrepreneur, but also she represented India and brought gold and silver. So we are blessed to have Ankita in Bhopal, and also she happens to be into the management of Career College. So she's daughter of a founding member of YI. So Ankita, lots of things you connected with YI, with Bhopal, and with the youth of this country. So welcome to the show of Career Pathshala. It's a very special show for the graduates. So any thoughts and your opening remarks, and then we call our panelists for the day.
Thank you, Anujji, for inviting me. I think first of all, I wanted to say this before also when we met, but I just want to tell you how much you guys are doing, and every week, every day, every hour, we are getting updates of the efforts you are putting in, even in this situation, to bring in everybody together. If it's organ donation, if it's helping the poor, and providing food to people who are unable to survive at these moments, and even through Career Pathshala, helping every graduate who's in a dilemma at the moment, because it's a little tedious what they should do and what are the prospects, and everybody is at a situation where they want to prospect all their options. So I think whatever you are doing, the amount of efforts Young Indians, CII, and everybody is putting in is hats off to all of you. And I'm very happy that I can put in my 1% to contribution to this, and I'll be very happy to help you guys any which ways I can in my very small way.
That 1% makes us from 99 to 100. So your presence today in the show will definitely be a great motivation for a lot of youngsters for breaking the myths and taking it forward. So we would like to now invite Rohit, Ishika, and Tanvi for the in the show, and I think yes they are there. So we just would like to add them. Welcome Rohit, Ishika, and Tanvi to Career Pathshala. And it's a privilege to have you here at this show, which is registered by more than 17,000 people and being watched in more than 50 cities of the country through the CII Young Indian Networks. And a warm welcome, Rohit, Ishika, and Tanvi to
Sir,
this show.
thank you, sir.
Yes.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
So, just putting the context, we called you, we invited you. We had Ankita as who helped us in reaching out to you guys, and we had a small discussion on why we want to invite you. Is that usually there's a myth in the society and among parents, especially that okay, if you want to do jobs, you should do a professional course or probably do an MBA or an engineering degree, a hotel management or something. Very few people thought of even a commerce or a BCA can be an opportunity of making a good career, equivalent or even better than those postgraduate courses. So on these lines, we thought of not just talking about, but bringing role models and examples like you, who have shown and you who have already been on the other side, clearing those campus placement processes and opportunities and taking it forward from there. And just to give an insight to the viewers about those opportunities. So thank you so much for coming in and joining in. You all are working from home. It's like an office time, but taking time. We really thank your organizations also for being here. So starting up with Tanvi, we would like to know about you, how your journey up abhi yahan pe, how you have been now. You working with Nextgen Private Limited as a business
Analyst.
associate analyst, sorry. So कैसा रहा आपका journey till now from schooling and then college and then to this place? A brief of about your
Yeah.
over to you, Tanvi.
So hi everyone. I'm Tanvi Chaurasia. I'm basically from Bhopal. So I did my schooling from St. Mary's Convent School here in Bhopal itself. At that time, there was a huge, what we can say, everyone wanted to do engineering and they were going into IIT, JEE, AIEEE classes, and they were preparing for the entrance test and they wanted to get into good colleges to do engineering. But somewhere I was not, I didn't wanted to do engineering, so I went to career college and Vibha Thakur from that career college, she guided me that I take BCA based on my performances in 10th, 12th. I chose PCM, as we say, math science. So she guided me and I took BCA. I took 3 years course there. In the last year, Cognizant Technology Solutions came to career college for placements. I set for the placements and was selected for programmer trainee, what we can say, position, Pune. So I joined Pune Cognizant in 2000, I think 15, after completing my BCA from here. I worked there for some time. Uh, Actually, I wanted to enhance my knowledge more, and just for the sake of that, I wanted to do some specialization. So I did my MBA from Pune itself, and then I started working in Next Time Private Limited as a business analyst, and I'm currently working there. It has been three and a half years.
Great.
Awesome.
So Tanvi, how important was the working experience for you before when you were doing MBA? So working experience before the MBA, did this help you? And
A
uh,
lot. So actually, what happens is students when they are in the start of their career, they are just freshers. They have joined the organization and they don't know anything about the world or the corporate how they are working. So when you work, you come to know how important it is to adjust yourself in a corporate environment. I mean, in college, you have friends. You have friends. Your teachers are also your friends. You can that kind of environment doesn't exist in a corporate world. There's a very different environment there, and you need to follow certain protocols. You need to be disciplined as such. So, and even applying your knowledge into practical scenarios is a very important thing, which we actually I learned when I joined Cognizant as a fresher. So those technicalities you get to learn from job itself. You cannot learn in theoretical classes or anywhere. So yeah, it helped a lot.
So great. It was like experience and then doing MBA and then taking that MBA and your experience to your next career ahead. So
Yeah.
great. Congratulations, Tanvi. You have really taken some good steps and have been there. So Ankita, let's talk with Ishika about her career, her journey. So Ishika, आप अपने बारे में कुछ बताइए.
Sure. Hi, everybody. My name is Eshika Manji, and I am also from Bhopal itself. But I am currently working from Indore location. So, how did I start my journey? Well, it's very interesting. Okay. So, I wasn't, I was very average student in my school life. Like, I had no plans about my future. I had no goals, nothing. And why I took commerce as my subject in 11th was because I didn't wanted to take other subjects. I wasn't good. Okay, let's face it. I wasn't good in maths, so I took commerce. And that's how my journey began. So after my schooling, in the graduation as well, I went in the college to take, admission in BCom. But somehow I got admission into BBA, which worked very well for me because I got to know many things. I explored about myself, which I would not have known when I must have chosen BCom. So in the journey of these 3 years in my college, it has completely changed my life. I participated in almost every event, and the faculty in my college is really supportive, and they are there for you to help. It's just that the students have to go and reach out to the faculty for everything. And as we know that there are many companies that come into our in career college. So one of it was TCS. So in the first year, I heard that my seniors, they have got selected in TCS. So there was a hype. And when I searched for what TCS is, what I searched in detail. Like I uh, I got very interested and influenced by my seniors getting into TCS. So I thought, let's target and let's set a goal to get in TCS. And that's how my journey began from my college life. And my faculty members, the TNP cell, they informed me that there is special, vacancy in TCS, that too in HR. So this was the very first time that TCS was hiring graduate freshers into HR. So I thought, let's give it a try, let's go and give the interview. And luckily, I got selected there. So that was my journey, and it's been very fun and very I've learned a lot in this journey. I'm still learning.
Excellent. Awesome.
Good. So it's good to be learning and once you become learned, the learning stops. So it's always to be a learning person rather than a learned person. Rohit, working in Godrej and Boys, so would like to know about your journey. And it's quite a day for you because Tuesday happens to be a working day. You are getting some fun phone calls, and office
Yeah,
work is
yeah,
always on the toss. So great to work
yeah.
with a company like Godrej. So how was your journey, and um, how you have been to a place like Godrej? Yes.
Yeah. First of all, hi Anusar, hi Ankita, and Tanvi and Ishika. So as all you know that I'm in Godrej right now. So let's start my journey. Let's start like how my journey started. So basically, my journey started from the eighth class for not selecting engineering, because when I was in eighth class, my elder brother, chose engineering, and by the time I reached 12th standard and completed my 12th standard, I saw my brother passing his 4 years of engineering. So I know the pros and cons and the life you get in doing engineering. So I got threatened. I got very scared that I told my father that I am not taking engineering at any cost, because my father said that no, you will only have to select commerce and do BCom honors, BCom and BBA sort of things if you do not do engineering. So I thought, yeah, that will be okay, but I am not going to take engineering at any cost. So then after I got admission in career college. Uh, First and second year was a little bit different for me, because it was uh, time when I was shifting from a school background to my college background. So first and second year was, I didn't know how it went. I'm not able to recollect those 2 years also. But the by the time I started my final year, so there were different types of training placements and comprehensive training programs were organized by my college, by my college training and placement act. So which enabled me to understand the severity and the uh, life on how to cope up with the interview and the placement drives. So basically, I got to know like what are the key points and what are the major points on which the interview or the panelists keep track on while conducting your interview and conducting your placement. So those 6 months of training helped me a lot for clearing my interviews and clearing my campus drive. So basically, I got to know that two companies are coming in for placements. One was L&T Construction, which is also a very big name in construction company in our country, and second was Godrej and Boyce Manufacturing Company. So actually, I got selected in L&T construction first, but there was no like there was actually it was I was selected in earlier January 2019. So by the time in 15 or 20 days only, Godrej and Boyce Manufacturing Company also came for placement. So I went there, and Anush sir was the coordinator there. I hope Anush sir, you must remember that. Uh, so basically he helped me also in gaining telling me the key points on which I should focus on conducting while giving the interview. So basically those things really helped me a lot, and I got selected in Godrej in Voice, and I was the only one who got selected in 120 students there. So which then after I joined, so my offer letter came, and I was posted in Mumbai, which is basically a headquarter of Godrej and Boys Manufacturing. So I was there for around 6 months, and there were around 30% my batch in that batch, and out of those, only two of them got B2B institutional sales. So one was the other person which got posted in Mumbai only, and I am the only person who got transferred and posted back to my hometown only. So I consider myself very fortunate that I got admission first of all in career college, which basically gave me a chance to be placed to attend the campus placement drive of these huge companies, and then I got selected in those two companies also, and then also out of 30 students in that batch, I got posted in my hometown only. So right now I have completed my traineeship, and now I am confirmed. I am the first person here to confirm in Bhopal branch as a assistant manager. So currently I am looking here for B2B institutional sales and for Bhopal territory. So that's how my journey began, from my eighth class of not of seeing my brother doing his engineering, and then taking decision that I'm not going to do engineering. Then uh, I got admission in career college. Then I got as a and then I got job as a assistant manager in Godrej. Then I'm right now here as sitting here as an assistant manager of institutional sales. So that's
Great,
all.
Rohit. Nice to hear you, and hope your father is happy with your decision, at least now, with you not going into following your own passion. And that is something very important to learn from the story that
Yeah.
if you, it is good to take the lessons of from your friends, from your brother, from your relatives, and just don't follow what everyone is doing about, but following what best you can do in your situation. So analyzing yourself, yours, doing a SWOT analysis of yourselves, and finding a possibility in every field. So great to hear you, Tanvi, Shika, and Rohit. So, us next question to you, Ankita, about how these guys are talking about your process in your college, where out of 121 gets an offer, and out of 30 there are two who are getting B2B. So definitely your college would have some special classes, or maybe with this increase in the placements, and it has been an ongoing thing. So it's a well established institutions in Bhopal. So what if you would like to share what type of programs or the key initiatives as management you are taking, so that students get abreast with the latest knowledge, and bringing a confidence among them. Because most of the people come in their first year, they in the dilemma, यार मैंने सही किया कि नहीं किया. Falana Engineering College was giving me admission in the fees which is lower than a BCA fees or a BBA fees nowadays. So
Yes,
he's
yes,
always
on this
in
now.
the
Yeah.
6 months तो पूरा confusion में ही बीतता है. अभी भी उसको फोन आते हैं, आ जाओ ज्वाइन कर लो कॉलेज, अभी भी
Yes.
इंजीनियरिंग में सीट खाली है.
Till
So
November. Till November, they get calls to shift.
yes. So how from people coming with the dilemma, giving them confidence, definitely your training placement cell would be doing good. So if you can
Yeah.
just share some good practices which you are doing, and then we again go back to our panels.
Yeah, so I think students are very intelligent nowadays. They understand what's right, what's wrong. They have Google in their hands, so they keep themselves updated. So they usually bet on institutions that have experience, that have years of proof of concept of things that they have established. So it's a very old institution. It's a 50-year-old college with placements every year across every degree courses and so many companies. So children have that belief that they're at the right place. Then obviously getting a company for placement is the easier bet. Getting children ready is the bigger task. So we usually focus on their grooming sessions, their comprehensive training, which is organized by the college, and we make sure that they get factory visits, they get industrial visits and internships that make them ready for that course. So it's very easy to sit on an interview and see a placement talk or go for a placement. I think the difficult task is to get ready for that session. So grooming session is the first and foremost that I think plays a major role. The placement cell is so experienced that they are able to generate and find out what is the fault or a way of improving what's needs to be improved in a specific child. And I think individual sessions with each children, that's very important. The child has to feel important. They have to feel that they are valued in the institution. And obviously each student is different. Each student's life experiences and abilities are different. So if the placement cell is able to identify and then train them accordingly, that is what we are good at. That is what we focus on. So academics is one part of it, and then getting them ready is the next. So we usually focus on these few protocols. Yeah.
Very good, like nice to hear, and very good thoughts of among the students, and understanding that placement is a changing scenario. जो आज हो रहा है वो कल नहीं होगा. The demands keep changing, so you
Yeah.
need to keep changing. And having a young person in the management board definitely grasps that change and tries to implement it as soon as possible. So great, Ankita. And so coming
Thanks.
back to our panels, we want
Yes.
to know more about your we would like to hear from you about your experience in this and how you prepared about your campus. So we would like to more hear about your preparation when these companies were coming. What was
How
the
was it
right
like?
time when you?
Yeah.
Yes. तो कब से आपने चालू किया इसको प्रिपेयर करना क्या मन में था and because that will give lot of students to follow those path and it will be like a pathfinder for them.
And maybe you can talk about the mistakes you made and you think that those mistakes could have been avoided. So that would help. Yeah. Tanvi, I think
Yes.
can go forward. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So, about placements, when you are like freshly, you have come out of school, like you have passed your 12th standard and first year you have taken admission. Initially you don't bother about the placements, you don't know anything about the placements. When your teachers, when your HODs, when they talk about it, when they try to explain the importance and what exactly needs to be done, so that after completing your 3 years, or maybe before completing your 3 years, you should have a job in hand, so that you can make a very smooth transition from your college to your first job. So preparations, as our mentors and our teachers, they used to tell us to focus on our aptitude, majorly, and second, your communication skills. So I have even seen people like they have lot of knowledge, but they lack in expressing that. So working on the communication skills, or the soft skills, was the first major part of focus for every student that was preparing for the placements. Then your aptitude. So aptitude does not basically define how much you know about a subject, but how analytical you are, or how you solve your problems, day to day problems, mathematical, or any sort of basic aptitude problems. So these two, yes, I started working on these 2 points first. Then eventually, your subject matter plays a lot of importance. I mean, you should know your subject, you should know your domain to actually sit for any interview, for that matter. So whatever you have studied, and how you are going to implement that studies or that knowledge into a practical scenario, that's what companies look for in their interviews. Who has, I mean, who has studied 2 pages, they have learned it thoroughly. They don't want that person. They want someone who is quick on their feet, and they can take decisions, and they can actually think in that manner that will help the company in return. So, yeah, communication skills and your aptitude and your basic subject matter. These 3 things I started preparing on for the placement.
इशिका,
Okay.
anything about your preparations, किस चीजों पे
You're
आपने
on
ध्यान
mute.
दिया और किन चीजों को आपने avoid किया and as Ankita was saying some mistakes which freshers can avoid.
Yeah,
Ishika?
okay.
Yeah.
So, audible?
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
Okay, okay. Okay, so as Tanvi mentioned, it's completely true. When when you are going from school to college, you are completely into a different zone. You are not bothered about anything. You don't, you just want to have fun and enjoy. That's it. That's the same, mindset I had when I joined college. But I had this thing in my, which I practiced from my school life. I had one thing in my mind that I have to be groomed well, I have to be presentable. That's one thing which I have been practicing since my school life. I don't know why I did that. So that is one thing which impacted my interview process. Why? Because when the interviewer take your interview, they are not looking into the rectified things or the things you have already prepared with. No, what they are looking into is whether you will be able to grasp things or not. And that's what they saw in me as well. Now, apart from this, my college, my mentors helped me a lot, because before the campus, there used to be many training sessions they had scheduled. There were mock interviews which we used to practice with our teachers. There were feedbacks given to us which we need to, improve upon. And there were different sessions which they used to, schedule for us, so that we can groom ourselves and we can bring that confidence to speak. And yeah, that is the one thing which has worked for me. And I guess that's what we also look into. Like, I am into recruitment. I was into recruitment when I got into TCS. So that's the only thing that we look into, the into our students or new the people or candidates who come for the interview. So that's the thing.
So Ishika, with you, with a lot of your friends, you saw your juniors. So what are the few things, or maybe two or three things, which you would like to emphasize to your fellow juniors, or maybe who are in their final year, or they who's are still looking for getting into a college? ऐसा क्या बेसिक करना चाहिए? अगर आपसे मैं पूछूं वो तीन या पांच चीजें, so can you just put them in points which you would recommend them to
Yeah.
do?
Yes, sure. Very first thing, you need to change your mindset and your attitude towards everything. Everything. Okay. And uh, okay, initially you might not have your goals in your mind. That's okay. But going forward, you must have it. Okay. At least you must have this thing in mind, that you have to attain something, you have to achieve something. So, one thing is, that you must build that confidence in you first. Second is, you start improving on your communication skills and your grooming. That is very, very important. Okay, because it leaves an impact on the other person for a longer time. So that's second thing. Okay, first confidence, second grooming, and third, you make it a habit to say, to not to say no to any opportunity which is coming to your way, which is very important. Surprisingly, saying, when we are choosy about things initially in our, when we are fresher, if we are choosy about things, we would not explore things about ourselves. Okay. But when we are involved and indulged into many different things, we are exploring ourselves. Whether we may win or we may not win, that's not the point. But we are exploring, we are knowing new things about ourselves, which really, help us in improving. That's the third thing that I would want my viewers to, to know and to practice.
Excellent. Very good points, Ishika.
Oh,
So Rohit, we would like to hear from you. कब से आपको लगा कि प्लेसमेंट करना है? इज इट कि पापा को प्रूव करके दिखाना है, या एक प्रेशर था कि जब तक आप ग्रेजुएट हुए पाप भैया भी उधर कुछ ना कुछ बन गए होंगे, तो एक डर भी रहा होगा कि यार इंजीनियरिंग नहीं करी है अब क्या करेंगे, या इट वाज ऑल समवन एज एन इंस्पिरेशन फॉर यू हु कुड just guide you, and like how was your journey, and also include what you want to like to suggest your viewers to take into account.
Sir, first of all, I would like to make clear there was no such pressure on me for or from my father to do prove something and all. It was just my thing
देख
to.
रहे हैं पापा देख रहे हैं सेशन
No, no, no.
क्या
I'm lying. There was no such kind of pressure on me. It was just my thing to prove myself that I have taken the right decisions. Otherwise, I would be disappointed from myself only, because I was given the opportunity from my father to to do one thing, but I chose not to do that thing, and I chose myself to do BCom, and that's the well, there was no such kind of pressure on me. So coming back to the preparation which I did for the placement drive. Actually, I got to know 1 month before that these two companies are coming, and these two organizations are very big organization. And we also know that these two are very reputed companies in our country, and these two companies are hold a are a big name in our country. So what I observed that in the flyer which came in our WhatsApp group, and which of which banners were put in our college, that the I just noted down the key profile which for which they are coming from. So I got to know that they are coming for institutional sales. So my first thing was, like, in sales you need to be very expressive, as well as the same time you need to be very careful with your words, because if you are very expressive and you say all the things like you want to say, it just not work like that. You need to be very careful with your words, and you just want to uh, take care that what you want to say, and what will be the other person will get it, will intend to understand that. So basically, you have to be very clear with your thoughts and how you want to convey and what you want to convey. That thing only should be conveyed to the panelists. So actually, I attended somewhat around 9 or 10 placement drive, which was organized by our training and placement heads of career college, which eventually helped me nurturing my aptitude skills and my grooming skills, and eventually helped me in like I got to like 2 or 3 mock-up interviews, which was organized by my training and placement sir. So which eventually helped me very much to a level when I was basically going for Godrej interview. So I did not feel any kind of pressure, because I thought, yeah, I have done these many times. So there were no thing that I am. There will not be any new thing. They will ask same questions, and they will be asking the same kind of questions only. So, to the interviewer, which is now my senior manager, his name is Mr. Haji Jacob. He only selected me. Like he was the panelist. He was very impressed, because I was not feeling very, kind of stressed and nervous while going into the interview, because what happens is, most of the times a person, many students are aware of their knowledge. Many students are very good with their aptitude thing, and they can solve any question, but they are not confident to expressing their self in front of the interviewer, because they kind of get a thought कि अगर ये नहीं हुआ तो क्या होगा. Now if I get rejected, so what will, so I think that thought should not come in anyone's mind, because that is just an interview, and if you express yourself well in front of the panelists, then only the panelists will be able to, assess you and know you in a way that he can judge, like, do you a person like you holds a position in a company or not. So I just expressed myself there, and gone there with a very light heart, and did not take any pressure. So that was the thing which I think helped me in a way to crack my interview and get selected in uh, Godrej and Boys.
So yes, the pressure on the day of interview is something which keeps you away. We have seen Sachin, the god of cricket, on 90s and how he played. So it was all the pressure you take about achieving something, achieving something. So it's more about playing rather than looking at the scores, whether you are making in or making out.
Right.
So good thoughts on that. So one thing, Ankita, it always comes
Yes.
to my mind. Lot of times, Bhopal students whom I meet, तो उनसे graduate हो तो क्या कर रहे हो? So most of the time they chill out, enjoy their graduation times. Bhopal is a very good place with scenic
To
beauties
enjoy.
to have a graduation enjoyment. So and if you meet anyone, they have always a plan. I would plan to do an MBA in Mumbai, Pune, or something as a post graduation. So what is your thoughts, Rohit, Ishika, and Tanvi about Tanvi definitely did an MBA, but Rohit, you also might be thinking about it before the placement started that मैं क्या करूँगा BBA के बाद. So in January, I think you got the opportunity. So before that, what were your thoughts and how you and your friends think about And is it really required to do an MBA or a post graduation, or and still there is a lot of myth about graduation cannot earn you a good job? So your views are about it, please. A lot of students are watching you, and ये बहुत important myth है कि लोगों को लगता है यार वो अभी तो बीकॉम ही किया, अपन को एमबीए करना पड़ेगा या एमकॉम करना पड़ेगा या we need to do something extra. तो वो एक बिलीफ नहीं आता अपने ऊपर ना. So your thoughts onto it, then we'll take with Ishika.
Sir, I would not like to, reject this myth like straight way. I also got the same kind of thought that यार अभी तो बीकॉम ही करा है, अभी कैसे जॉब लग जाएगी, एमबीए करना तो जरूरी है. But what happened was कि when my placement drive came, so there was one thing that if there was one thing written in that flyer that we will sponsor you for doing MBA if you get along with us. So what was my key point for sitting in that interview, that if I get selected in this company with this kind of package, which eventually the postgraduates students get, so it will be a, basically I know that it will not be a my cup of tea. Like it will be very easy and all. So the main attraction point for me for sitting in this uh, interview was that if I get selected in this company, then they are giving me an opportunity to sponsor my MBA also, so that I would not I am not I don't get this thought कि यार बीकॉम कर लिया अभी तो मतलब एमबीए करना तो जरूरी है, बिकॉज उसके बिना क्या होगा. So my company is taking care of that also, because they also know that these kind of thought came in the freshers mind, that you have to do MBA to grow yourself in the organization, otherwise you will end up on one thing there, on one place only. So I would not say that कि MBA करना ही जरूरी होता है. I just want to say कि अगर आप काबिल हो तो आप कुछ भी कर सकते हो, because only you have to maintain and make yourself well enough and skilled enough to get yourself a job which will eventually enhance your role in that organization only, and your role in your own personal life also, personal and professional life also. So I would like to say that I don't think that there is any uh, compulsory thing to do MBA before joining before sitting in any placement drive. I would just like to say that your degrees, your qualification skills, and your education qualification matters before you are selected in an organization. Once you have joined the organization, then it all depends on your skill and the way you can nurture yourself and the way you can do your work. So that's all from my side.
So very true. Like MBA is definitely something to add value to your career, and students should not look at कि MBA नहीं तो वो graduation की degree कोई value नहीं है. Ishika, can you add? You would like to put some comments, Ishika? आप कुछ?
Sure. Yeah, sure, Anuj. So, okay. So I didn't plan anything for my post graduation. Okay, like I said, I have never had plan for anything. Okay, it's just it's happening one by one. I'm taking step, one step at a time. So having MBA degree, doesn't make any difference. Okay, now my personal experience, I'm seeing my friends, they took a drop for 1 year, they prepared for some CAT or good MBA कॉलेज के लिए कुछ preparations वो सब किया, but till now they are looking for job. Even after completing MBA they are looking for jobs. So having a MBA degree or a postgraduate degree doesn't mean that you will easily get a job. Okay, it's just a degree. Okay, and the second thing which I always had in my mind is, you know, if you compare a graduate person or a postgraduate person, graduation ke baad if you are going to a job, 2 saal mein you are gaining so much of experience. Okay, instead of post graduation degree you are getting experience, which is most important thing. Okay, after MBA if you are starting, ek to 2 saal late aap apna career start kar rahe ho. So that's a negative thing which I think, क्योंकि आपका एक्सपीरियंस ज्यादा मैटर करता है. Okay, not your degree. So, and one most important thing, that a fresher should not be looking for a package initially. Okay, पैसे कमाए जा सकते हैं बाद में, but if you are getting a good opportunity after, just after your graduation, just grab it. So that's my view on post graduation.
Okay, awesome. Thanks.
So any
Yes,
views,
Tanvi
Ankita,
would.
you have, and from Tanvi, we will have a separate question.
Okay. Yeah, so my take is that we are discussing 2 points here. One is choosing your degree, which one do you want to do? And once you do the degree, placement or entrepreneurship or whatever you want to do in future. So when a child decides after 12th, now everybody's gone too liberal and they have multiple options and people are ready to take risks as well. So now you would be looking for whatever you like, even if you like commerce or you like law, nursing, whatever options you want to try. So children are way more open-minded to explore. So they can explore their option. Then they will look for a college that is established in that degree course. And once they are in that college, they will be looking for placements. But the whole game from taking the risk of not doing a technical course, doing what your passion is about or what you like, or if you think that you are not good with the technical subjects and you choose a degree course and choosing your placement, it's all upon your efforts. It's all upon how you look, have your outlook towards life. Because I know people who've done MBA also. I know people who are at the top positions who've not even done graduation. So I think at all possibilities it is achievable, but the amount of effort you put in, if you say that I have taken a degree course because I couldn't study in a technical course, now degree course also sounds difficult. And then when placement comes, then placement is also very difficult because interviews are very difficult. So then everything is difficult. And if you have that much caliber to put in the effort, then I think life is a little easy. So it depends person to person. It's not moreover about which one is the right course and which is the right company to get placed into. I think it's more about how much effort you're ready to take. I even when I meet students, I even tell them, if you're in the wrong company, you did the right graduation and you're lined up in the wrong company, you are always open to explore more options and switch, but don't get stuck in your options. Don't get stuck with whatever decisions you've made in life. Maybe you are in engineering. Ask the children who are in engineering how they are feeling about engineering. So they are ready to switch. So even if you want to switch from your engineering, it has to be a very smart decision based on your aptitude and how much effort you want to put in. You switch from an engineering and you say I'm an artist, and then you do not want to put in the effort an artist puts, because artist puts in way more effort than anybody else. They are thinking all the time. They have to make new creations. Usually, a technical guy is working on whatever is already made. Very few create new apps, new creations. So I think it's more about person to person, and there's no rescue to hard work. So everybody has to put in their effort. You choose the degree you want, and you choose the placement option you want to, but it lands up to the amount of effort you're ready to put in, because the college will give you the staff, it will give you a lot of experience, exposure, academics and sessions, but until and unless your brain is there in the session, nothing would really fruit up to. So that's my small advice to everybody who's trying for a placement or a college or deciding which options to take. So take whatever option you want, but you got to work hard. Thank
Yes,
you.
so there are different recipes for different stuffs, and any recipe whichever you want to make, you have to give your 100% so that you will come up with a good flavor, and फिर वो भजिया भी अच्छा लगेगा, वो पिज्जा भी अच्छा लगेगा. It all depends upon what you are, your attitude, your 100% commitment to whatever you do, even if you are a 12th pass or a BCom or an MBA. So that all adds value to your profession if you have a takeaway for that. अगर आज आपने BCA किया, so if you should have a takeaway of, oh, कि what will help me to be a bachelor of computer application, otherwise it is just a degree. So MBA has a good takeaway, but you should be aware about taking that away from that degree, otherwise it is just a degree passing exam. So very rightly said Ankita about choosing, making choices, talking to mentors, talking to alumni about the choices you have. So every हर रास्ता सही है. इम्पोर्टेंट है कि आप किस मंजिल को जाना चाहते हैं. आपको रास्ते मंजिल पे नहीं ले जाएंगे, आपको खुद ही चल के जाना पड़ेगा. So
Exactly.
Tanvi, you have been in Pune, and from Bhopal to Pune, how is the life difference in Bhopal, Pune, and what it added to your personality? What there were some challenges. मतलब वो दिन याद करिए जब आप पहली बार पुणे की ओर जा रहे थे, and then lot of anxieties, and कैसे करेंगे the first day in the company, and then today you may be feeling much confident about. So how was your transformation? We want to talk about it because a lot of times students have a myth about going to bigger cities. Parents, especially girls, their parents usually avoid कि अभी क्यों जा रहे हो, MBA कर लो भोपाल में. फिर एक मामा जी फोन करते हैं कि इतने सस्ते में MBA हो रहा है, कर लो. फिर मोस्टली मोर देन पेरेंट्स, our relatives and friends of father are more concerned about your future. इतना पापा नहीं
Right,
सोचते जितना अंकल सोचते हैं. So
right.
at times all these things come into mind. So how is the exposure, and living in Pune, how different it is from Bhopal?
Yeah, so the word which you use, exposure, that is the main, I think, crux of everything. We all know MP, Bhopal, whether it be Indore, technical industry, IT industry, there's a huge shortage. Now, doing a technical course, whether even I call BCA as a technical course because actually you are learning something technical there as well, right? So, doing completing BCA and then going from Bhopal to Pune. Now, entirely different state, city, crowd. Now that crowd is mixed. You know, people are coming from every state. Pune is such a like hub. So there are students, there are guys from everywhere. Now, is huge difference in भोपाल and पुणे lifestyle. यहाँ पे 10:30, I mean 10 is बहुत ज़्यादा टाइम हो गया, रात का 10 बजना है, यानी बहुत ज़्यादा टाइम हो गया. But there it doesn't seem like, यानी people are awake, there are lights, there are everything else. The city is live till 12, 1, 2. Plus the kind of exposure, the kind of knowledge you gain, because there are people coming from every walks of life and they have their own quota of knowledge with them which they are carrying, and to get that and to share that with them is a completely different experience. And yes, being in Pune gives that exposure, kind of exposure to any student or fresher that may be. And yeah, that concern which you mentioned, that sending a girl, I mean, there are certain families who are actually very, they fear sending their children away, whether it be girl or boy, doesn't matter, because they have a conception that things will happen, they might fall into bad company, and lots of things. They fear a lot of things, and it is very what we can say human. Like parents or your guardians will always fear that about their children. But one thing I would like to mention here is, be it any city in India, uh, the feeling of safety comes from within, first of all. And it has nothing to do with the city or the people of a particular city. अभी बोलते हैं कि Delhi sounds a bit unsafe, or Mumbai sounds a bit unsafe, but uh, वो जो portion of life है, have that portion of life exists in each city somewhere, maybe a part of city or maybe a part of state. So we cannot define saying that कि बड़ी जगह जाने से maybe ये fear रहता है. It definitely comes from within, and there are walks of life which exist everywhere in each state and each city. So yeah, वो fear रहता है, but if you are right and if you are on right track, I don't think that matters a lot, because आपका safety actually 80 to 90% it lies in your hands, as far as I believe. Whether you are a girl or boy doesn't matter. And company now working in an organization where maybe 70 to 80% of the population belongs to that particular state or that particular region. Now you are sitting with people who speaks a different language than you. They have different cultures. They come from a very different kind of background, and to be with them, to sit with them, to work with them, because 10 hours a day working with a stranger who is coming from a very different background than yours is teaches a lot. I mean, you cannot have that kind of experience here sitting here at your comfort zone. So huge difference between Pune and Bhopal, for that matter. I think Rohit also might have faced it while he was in Mumbai.
Definitely.
Yeah, I just want to brought up. I just want to brought a thing into your notice that I noted a very huge difference between Mumbai and Bhopal. Actually, when I was in Bombay, so my office timing were 8:40 a.m. in the morning. Okay, and so I thought this is normal here. So I have to go to office like every day 8:40 a.m. By anyhow I have to reach there. And when I joined back to Bhopal, my office timing by automatically changed to 10:30 a.m. in the morning. So I got this thing that Mumbai is very fast as compared to Bhopal. So there are people who in Mumbai who don't have even a time to say hi to you in if you know well, if you are going in front of in front of them. So there is a huge difference of the speed of life in Mumbai and Bhopal. So basically this thing has that's why my organization conduct each and every trainees training in Mumbai only, so that they get an idea that you have to be very time conscious, and you have to work in a manner that you can do your work in a given span of time. Otherwise you will not be able to handle the pressure of work in a MNC. So that's what I learned in my first 6 months only, that I have to be very fast and very time conscious every time. Otherwise I will not be able to sustain in this organization. So that's the thing I which basically
Basically,
was a
coming out of your comfort zone is
yeah, yeah,
one
yeah,
thing
yeah.
which
So,
is
and
common everywhere.
the worst thing about this, that I am not a morning person. I need to get my sleep at least 8 hours. So that thing was a bit tough for me, but now I am able to manage it all.
So it's
True.
about coming out of your comfort zone, Tanvi rightly said. And so we are at the almost the end of the show. So before we end, we would like to know your future journey. And अभी तो आपने कुछ अचीव किया ही नहीं है, अभी तो शुरुआत है. So how you feel that you guys would be, or how you see your future and opportunities for young BCA BCom students in future. एक तो आपका फ्यूचर कैसा होगा, और आने वाले समय में जो अभी जो फाइनल ईयर में बच्चे हैं या सेकेंड ईयर में हैं, वो किस तरीके की उनको अपॉर्चुनिटीज मिल सकती हैं. आप इफ यू कैन जस्ट टॉक अबाउट इट as a conclusion, as a and as a guidance to them, so
Yeah.
that will be really a good one.
Yeah. So regarding the freshly graduating batches, maybe from BC or BBA or BCom, be it any stream, I would like to say in this pandemic, I think there are a lot of cons happening around us, be it job industry or any job for that matter. A con is always supported and balanced by a pro. So everything is being digitized now, right? Each and every one of us is sitting at their homes and doing everything while uh, just that was happening before by going out and doing something physically, right? So there are a lot of opportunities coming up since everything is being digitized. So the skilled labors, what we can say, skilled people are required, and this skilled labor is definitely going to increase in this coming times. And there I see a huge opportunity for freshly graduate people in the coming year, I would say. So yeah, future is very bright. Look forward to it. Regarding my future, currently I am
Rohit, your
working
views
like,
about the
yeah.
pandemic and the future, and how would be the opportunities for your commerce final year students? कैसा लगता है आपको being in the industry?
Sir, first of all, I would like to tell my juniors or who are the freshly graduates and are about to get graduate, because the exams of final year is yet not conducted because of
Yes.
the current scenarios. So I would just like to know that start preparing for the placement drive as soon as you as early as possible. And second thing, that be honest to yourself while preparing yourself, because if you are not honest to yourself, then you will not be able to assess yourself and get you will not be able to realize in what specific things you are lacking, and where you want to where you should focus. You should keep your focus on what things you need to make yourself better, so that honesty for yourself is very important thing. So please make sure that you are honest to yourself, then only you can able to judge yourself. Second thing, what are the current scenarios and what is the feeling of working in an industry? So, sir, what I think is कि right now Bhopal and Indore will be in future will be a very major place where a lot of industries and a lot of companies are coming into, which will eventually give the youth of our state to get placed and get employment from in their own state only. Because I think like 2 or 3 years back I read a tweet from our chief minister that the state government jobs of MP will be kept reserved for state youths only. So that's what I think, like
Right.
MP and being a agriculture state, MP being a agriculture state, that there are very opportunities which our students can explore. And our college, career college, I think by far is I think the best college in placement and training and placement drives, which around I am not sure, it's like 40 or 50 companies have came in for placement in my time only. So I think there are uh, many opportunities which our college gives us to get ourselves placed and get ourselves employed over here. So please, I just want to tell the freshly graduate student that start preparing for your placements, and be honest to yourself, and don't get disheartened if you are not selected in a specific company, because opportunities will come and go. You just have to make the best of the opportunities you are which are in your hand, which are in your hand.
Rightly said. So we have a lot of opportunities to in this COVID times and in this uncertainty. There would be a lot of negativity around you guys, but as Rohit and all the panels say about that, there will definitely be a good future prospect. A lot of things going digitalization, the demand for sales, the demand for exploring new markets will come. The new normal is going to set, which will create a lot of jobs. So definitely the job scenario is going to rise in coming 2 to 3 years. There's a good amount of investment being looked by the international market. India is definitely a leading superpower for digital people. Like you could talk about digital revolution, then India is definitely having a lead in that with so many manpower, which is digitally available. And nowadays, technology is not limited for bringing something into software, but also in sales, in analytics, and in every walk of life. So Ishika, we were talking about कि आपको क्या लगता है कि how this future of placements will be, and maybe with TCS how would be the opportunities for the young graduates. तो आने वाले समय में 1-2 सालों में आपको क्या लगता है how would be the opportunities of placements for the fresh students?
Okay, so after Corona, obviously there will be a drastic change we'll see in future. But keeping in mind the changes which which is happening within the world, there will be growth in the vacancies that MNCs and big organizations would be having. Now if we talk about TCS in specific, it almost try to take almost 50 to 80% of fresh graduates into the organization. So maximum population of fresher is going into good companies. And as we are aware of that, many of the other foreign MNCs are getting merging with the Indian companies now. So and the foreign companies are coming and they're trying to manufacture things which is made in India itself. So like that, I guess there would be a huge chances of freshers or the people who are looking for a job, for them there will be good opportunities in future.
So great. Thank you, Ishika, for it. Rohit, your comments, and Tanvi for being here. Final, I'd like to also ask Ankita about what is her future plans for career college. How you are going to transform? What is there coming for these students of Madhya Pradesh? How is your future plans with we heard a lot of students talking great about the best opportunities of placements in I think the most affordable fees in Bhopal with a standard of teaching and one of the best experience students had. And with all these great returns you are bringing for students, to aage kya future is what? How are your plans for future? You are an entrepreneur. Your personal plans definitely, and but we would like to more focus today on the session of career among the students. So आने वाले समय में with this digital change, how even the
Yeah.
college fraternities bringing a change so that the learning continues.
Yeah, so very good question and important question. So this transition has been a very devastating transition for everybody. Nobody was prepared for it. I just understand the amount of efforts everybody has taken to adapt to the situation because nobody was ready. So all the teachers, and teachers are usually from a generation beyond us, right? So a generation ahead. The amount of effort all these teachers have taken to make a transit and make knowledge accessible to all the students is really appreciable. And I just want parents also to understand the amount of efforts teachers are taking, because it's very easy to blame the teachers for not adapting well, but i I sincerely acknowledge the amount of efforts every college, all the staff, all the teachers taken to keep the education standard at its optimum level. So the entire world's education system has obviously devastated in this current situation, and everybody has adapted. But this adaptation has been possible because of teachers. So one that we at our institution obviously are taking immense effort so that the level doesn't go drop. Also we have to prepare all the students who are in the graduation years or are planning on doing graduation now to be ready for this transition and do not feel that they want to skip or they want to switch or they have any apprehension. So we want to be ready for that. So there are multiple assessments that we do every day, every hour, in fact, and we are trying to associate with the top institutions, with the top colleges, with the top companies to bring them on board digitally at the moment, and then at least provide that scope to children, because there's a very good advantage that nobody realizes, is that all these people from across the world were not accessible to us to come and meet us in our college every day, right? But through this medium of calling and web conferencing, all of that information is accessible. And the colleges, our college and everybody else, is putting immense effort to put that knowledge across to students. So if students appreciate what's happening to them and just realize the amount of knowledge that's being bestowed on them, and are just able to accept it, grasp it, and then implement it, I think it will be a great transition. They'll be ready for the challenges ahead and the new normal and everything. So I think we are doing everything on our behalf. All the global exposure that they could have got from going to US or to Mumbai or Delhi for their colleges, that's all bestowed to them at their home now. So I think it's a great way to learn, and implement it is on them.
Rightly said. So, with this positive note, we conclude today's session, a very important one of realizing a lot of opportunities and for the young graduates who are coming out of college, not only in terms of careers but into placements. A lot of good career opportunities are coming in through campus placements in colleges. Students should not just look at this as a completing of degree but also as an opportunity to start their journey towards their career.
On
And
a
COVID
very
is,
funny
yes,
note, I'll add that because of this transition, all lot of people are losing their job, and that's usually at the top of the scale. So there's a lot of opportunity for everybody who's just starting.
Exact,
So everybody
exactly.
who's a founder of a company and all those big entrepreneurs are now trying to avoid the top scale barriers and the pay scale, and there's a lot of opportunity for everybody who's going to
Right.
start here now.
For the
Yeah,
freshers.
so freshers have a great opportunity. So
so
I think
definitely
everybody, yes,
to have enjoy the opportunity. It's not कि आप stay in the boundaries and clap for the opportunities. You have to be in the game, jump in the game,
game.
and
Yes,
Right.
you cannot just watch people and talking about their success, but you also have to come and rub shoulder to shoulder and you have to grab that success for you, for yourself, for your future, for your family, and for making yourself to the next level. So it had been a great time and really enjoyed with you, Ishika, Rohit, Tanvi, and Ankita. Having Ankita is always like
thank you,
we know
Anuji.
that this session is going to be a rocking one. So we could not take much of Ankita today, but we will definitely have her separately talking about in the coming sessions. So great,
Anytime.
great. Students of Career College, you guys, thank you for your time for bringing the breaking the myth of that placements happen after the post graduation or may not happen with graduates. A very important session, guys. Please show this to your parents who are in 12th or who are graduating, and definitely, Rohit, please show this to your father also. That yes, I was there, invited. So in this session, we had a lot of people. We started Career Pathshala with the founder of Persistent System, to a lot of CEOs. We had a lot of senior directors, but we always think of bringing someone who can bring a small change into the thought process. So that attitude change is a very difficult thing. So you guys really did it really well, and thanks Ankita for connecting us to them and having this. So on this note, be safe. Thank you so much, and we
Thank
Thank
you,
really
you.
Anuji.
enjoyed the
Thank you
Thank
so
you,
session.
much.
Ankita. Thank you, Anuj. Thank you, Rohit.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Anuji.
Thank you, Anuj. Thank you.